So you got to understand that your signature book is not the finish line. It is the foundation. It is the foundation and it is the cornerstone of your thought leadership empire. So I want you to imagine having digital products that monetize your expertise around your book. I want you to imagine waking up to Stripe or PayPal notifications, knowing that you are delivering top tier value without having to physically work for it. Welcome to the Published and Paid podcast, where we share book, business, leadership, and life lessons in 20 minutes or less to help you build a thought leadership brand and business. My name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher turned seven-figure entrepreneur, and I am glad that you are here. Let's get started. Hi, my name is Jasmine Womack. I am your published and paid coach, and I want to welcome you to the Published and Paid podcast. And today's episode is all about making daily sales and how creating digital products as an extension of your book can boost your income. Now, I'm going to start this off by sharing with you my plan to generate a certain amount of money from digital products. So I actually have 3 goals. Whenever I set goals for myself in my business, I typically set a baseline goal, the core goal, and then I set a stretch goal. So given that it's May at the time of this recording, I said, with my bandwidth, with running the business, having events coming up, my doctoral studies, a husband who's also an entrepreneur, and kids who are very busy, my baseline goal is to make $30,000 in the next 6 months. $30,000 in the next 6 months from digital products. Like, this is my initial goal, okay? I know that with $30,000, I can set a goal of making $5,000 per month in 6 months from digital products, okay? And I'm going to go into what digital products are. That's my baseline goal. My next goal, my mid-level goal, is $60,000 in 6 months. So this would require me to sell $5,000 per month. This would require me to sell $10,000 per month. Okay. Those are my baseline goals. And then my stretch goal is $100,000 in the next 6 months. Okay. From digital products alone. So basically pretty much doubling it every single month. Now, can I do that? Yes, I can. It's going to take some focus and it's going to take some effort, but I know that I can hit at least one of these goals. And I'm one of those people, I'm totally honest with myself and about what I have going on, where I am in life. And so right now, I'm not even really thinking about that right now in 6 months. I'm thinking about hitting this as the baseline goal and then going for this, because I know that I can do this fairly easily with my eyes closed and also with ads. Okay. So what does this look like? So let me explain what this looks like. And I have my numbers kind of written down. So if you look at a digital product, like if I create when you're writing your signature book, people like to try to bundle their books with strategy calls or t-shirts or keychains. I like to bundle my books with digital products. I love digital products. Digital products are products that you create and you deliver them digitally. So what this means is that you can create them one time. And once you create them one time and all the assets and you set up all the tech, you can pretty much just sell it after that. Or you don't have to do any additional work, but we'll get into that. All right. And so I had a funnel that did about $5,000 in 2 days. And it was an ebook funnel. And I did a whole separate YouTube video about this. We'll link it below if you're watching us on YouTube. And if you're listening on iTunes or on the website or on Spotify, we'll make sure that we put both of these the YouTube link to the original video of when I did it in the show notes as well. But I did an ebook funnel. Okay. The ebook was $19. And so what I did, and I created this ebook as an extension of my original paperback book, Published and Paid. And so I have my book Published and Paid, write, self-publish, and launch your nonfiction book in 90 days or less. And so one of the things I did is I created an ebook to accompany it called the Six-Figure Book System. And the Six-Figure Book System came with some additional trainings, and it talked about how to turn your book into six figures in revenue. So when I initially launched the ebook, and actually we're relaunching it, it was $19. And we had some different upsells along with it. All right. So like, for instance, we had upsell, like that means that when you buy the book, you have an opportunity. Oh, I don't want to give this particular thing away. So how can I actually make this happen? You can make this happen with a properly structured ebook or a book funnel. So what you do is that you want to create your book, and then you want to sell digital products in conjunction with the book. Now, when you do this, you're going to have to sell the book off of your website. Now, I use Kajabi as my website. It hosts my website, my landing pages, my checkout pages, my courses. We produce our podcast. We do everything through Kajabi. And so I'll put my affiliate link to Kajabi down in the show notes as well if you want to try it out. Okay. So say, for instance, you sell your book for, and then it can be, when I say ebook, I mean the digital book. Because if you sell the printed book with shipping and handling, then that one's going to be $25 to $30, on average, right? But so just for simplicity, say that you are selling the digital version of your book so that you don't have to ship out any books. You just save the digital version for, your in-person events or whatnot. Sell your book for $19, right? But then you have a $47 upsell. So say like you have some type of masterclass, some type of training that you've done, some type of toolkit that you've done. Say you upsell that for $47. So after they purchase your book, now they have an opportunity to purchase another item. And so they say yes to this item, and you create another upsell that's slightly higher, maybe around $97, right? So this means that if someone purchases all of these items at these values, at the $19, $47, and $97, y'all, I'm not a mental math person, so I'm getting out my calculator. So it's 19 plus 47 plus 97. You have turned a $19 sale into a $163 sale. Does this make sense? Because you had digital products and you sold them in conjunction with your book. Now, you can sell the digital products separately, especially like if you have a store as well. But the fact that you've been able to turn a $19 sale into a $163 sale with minimum overhead is a game changer. So if your goal is to make $5,000 and you're just trying to see who goes through all of these, okay? If I would need 30 people to go through this whole entire funnel in order to make the 5K. So that means that I would need 60 people to go through the funnel to make the 10K. Does this make sense? And I would need closer to 90 to 100 people to go through the funnel to make the 100K. All right? That's how that works. So 90 times 163. Actually, if I did 90 people times 163 is actually 14,000. Okay? And this is per month. This is what I would need to bring in per month in order to hit that. So if I did 14,670 times 6, so that would be like right at 88K, a little under 100K. So my numbers were off, but still, if you were able to bring in $88,000 in 6 months because you're making $14,670 in digital product sales alone, and, as an extension of your book without having to do additional work. And your overhead is the graphics. Your overhead are maybe the ads. Your overhead might be team. And you're still able to keep 80,000 of that 88. You follow me? This is why you need to have digital products in your business. But it's not just about having digital products. You're going to have to market and you're going to also, you're going to have to market, and you're going to have to grow your audience so that you can actually do this. Okay. Because it wouldn't make any sense if I was to say, oh, well, I'm just going to make digital products. And then you get stuck in your creative mode, and your creative mode brain is on, but you're not actively like taking the time and doing the work to also grow your audience, to grow your audience. Then that means that you're going to have digital products that nobody's buying. So this is definitely a tiered strategy, but it's possible for you when you want to work it. And so let's go back to now, because I had to show you all the vision. So let's go back to why you absolutely need digital products in your business. So if you are a thought leader, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an expert, with a signature book, and you want to transform your intellectual property into information products that you can sell every single day, this is what you need to listen to. And I'm looking online and I see people talking about different trust builder offers, and they're all the time, in your face. And you know what I said to myself? I said, I get hard work. I am not oblivious to hard work, but I will not allow anything to burn me out. And there are some times that launching isn't the best for me. There are some times when I just need to go on vacation. There's some times when the unexpected can happen. And you need systems in place to generate revenue for you without you having to actively work for it. And of course, once you make this money, then you can go and invest it, put it into different investments so that your money is making money for you. But especially now in today's economy, when I'm seeing $10 eggs, when I'm seeing ground turkey for $17, I believe that everybody can use a little bit more money, right? And so this isn't about saying, I don't have it. This is about saying, what can I do to create what I need to have so that I can live the quality of life that I want to live? All right. So you got to understand that your signature book is not the finish line. It is the foundation. It is the foundation, and it is the cornerstone of your thought leadership empire. So I want you to imagine having digital products that monetize your expertise around your book. I want you to imagine waking up to Stripe or PayPal notifications, knowing that you are delivering top tier value without having to physically work for it. I want you to imagine being able to go to your child's school and have lunch with them, being able to enroll them into summer camps without worrying about the cost, and being able to take trips or even take a day off without having to ask anybody. That's what you want, right? Or even being able to sell without having to physically launch or be on sales calls every day. That's what you want, right? Well, creating systems in place is going to help you to do that. So we're going to talk about why digital products matter in your business, what to create, and how to actually set it up for sustainable sales. So you want to understand that digital products are assets for you, and they extend your influence and your income. Yes, you can sell them in the online space, but when you create high quality digital products, you can also sell them in conjunction with your speaking. You can also sell them in conjunction with your training, and you can license them. This is why you need digital products in your business, because they can be monetized in both the online space and in the offline corporate professional spaces. So there are several more benefits for you to have digital products, all right? They help you to expand your influence and authority without you having to trade your time for money. They help you to attract new clients because it's a low barrier to entry. So they help you to attract new clients into your ecosystem because they're typically inexpensive, right? They're typically more affordable than what would a longer term course or coaching program would be. And they help you to maximize your leverage, and they're scalable. So again, you take the time to create them one time, you put your funnels together, you do the work up front, and then you have ongoing sales. This is how, when I initially launched one of my digital product funnels a few years ago, we made like $5,000 in 2 days while I was just sitting at home on the sofa. Actually, it was in less than 2 days. We made $5,000 in like a day and a half. And I was sitting on the sofa and enjoying Thanksgiving with my family. And and that's so important for me. And it's so important to me because I remember the Thanksgiving that I was over to my aunt's house. My aunt Bernadette, she had hosted Thanksgiving that particular year. And I was stressed out to the max. I was physically publishing books. And I had some clients that had waited until the very last minute to do things. And at that time, I was fairly new in my business. So I didn't have the boundaries that I have now. I was very much the people pleaser, trying to go over and beyond to the point where I was working on Thanksgiving and I wasn't telling people, no, I will get back to you later. I'm enjoying my family. I was at the Thanksgiving table, stressed out, trying to get stuff done for people that had waited until the last minute. And because now they were in a rush, I was in a rush trying to get it done. Now, don't worry, I don't do that stuff no more. I don't operate my business like that anymore. But I do believe that everybody has a learning period, and that was my learning period. And I remember that year that I was having to physically do the work and to make $5,000. Fast forward to a year when I was making $5,000 just off of digital products, while I was able to rest, relax, prop my feet up on the year that I was hosting Thanksgiving. My husband at the time took a picture of me because he was like, I can't. He was just like, you are literally generating some income and you sitting here relaxing. And he took a picture of me. I need to find that picture. And so I want that for you. I want you to not have to worry about taking a day off. I want you to not have to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to eat or afford groceries or be concerned about the rising cost of things, because you have systems in place to generate extra income for you, until our government here in the U.S. gets all of this stuff flushed out. So I want you to understand that your intellectual property is versatile. So there are different ways, there are different formats that you can offer digital products. There are different digital products that you can create. I love audio trainings. Okay. I'm on the go a lot and I probably won't sit down. Even if I turn on YouTube, likely I'm listening to it and not sitting there watching it. Like I'll turn it on and listen to it while I'm in the kitchen cooking or while I'm cleaning up. But I like audio options. So you want to think about audio trainings. You want to think about private podcasts where people have to actually pay to get access to it. You want to even think about things such as email courses, right? Where it's literally a course via email. It might have embedded videos, linked to videos and things of that nature. You want to consider toolkits, digital templates, video training series. All of these are digital products, okay? And so I want you to think about something that you likely already have that you can either sell in conjunction with your book or separately from your book, like maybe in your online store, that you can repurpose as a digital product. So when you want to set it up for daily sales, you've got to focus on building a sales system. So this is going to require you to use software that will allow you to make sales without you having to manually input the sale and then send or email someone the product. So there are a lot of different platforms in the online space, but personally, I use Kajabi. Okay. I use Kajabi for my courses, my coaching programs, my digital products, my online store, my podcast, my email, my payment system. I use Kajabi for everything to run my online education business. Now, there are some different platforms out there that maybe do courses only, or it's only the car. Like ThriveCart is a great option if you just want to make the sale. And I think ThriveCart comes with courses now too, but it doesn't come with email deliverability. So you would still have to have a separate email marketing system and all those things. So I just prefer all-in-one solutions, and Kajabi has been that for me. Okay. And so you can create different funnels to where you have the landing page where someone comes and signs. They read about it, they learn about it, then they sign up for it and purchase it. And then after they purchase, they enter into a series of emails that solidifies and verifies their purchase, validates their purchase for them. So when you are thinking about your pricing, when it comes to digital products, I like to do accessible offers. I like offers that are accessible and that I can license easily in the corporate space, because this is where your scalability is going to come from. When I'm thinking about digital products, I don't necessarily want to have a conversation with someone about the digital product the same way that I would about investing up in my $30,000 mastermind. You follow what I'm saying? So, there's no need to have a conversation when everything is there for them, and then they can make a strategic decision on whether or not, that product is best for them. So you want to start with accessible offers. And when I say accessible, I'm generally speaking about anywhere from $19 upwards of $199. Okay. Just depending on how complex the digital product is. Now, in my opinion, digital products are different from self-study courses. Self-study courses will typically tend to be very detailed and have a lot more resources and may have a whole bunch of different modules. So even though a self-study course is a digital product, I don't put it in the digital product category, because unless it's just like a 90-minute masterclass that some people might refer to as a course, I just don't. It's just not as detailed as a full-blown course. All right. And so when you want to make sales every day, you just need a sales system. So this means that you're going to promote it every day. Yes, you can go live and sell it, or you can even put it on an automated system where you are using ads to drive traffic to this digital product, and then people are able to purchase it on their own. And of course, you can remind people about it in your content marketing strategy. Okay. And so I want you to understand that you're not just an expert, but when you are writing your signature books and when you are turning your books and monetizing your books through digital products, you become the CEO of your intellectual property. And so this is where you begin to shift from just sharing information into actually monetizing transformation. All right. This is where you shift from selling products to providing your audience with solutions that leads to bigger results. And so I want you to look at your signature book and digital products as strategic business assets, and not just like a one-off, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm getting this itch or this urge, and so I want to create this, and you go create it. No, everything needs to be a part of your wheelhouse. It needs to be created strategically. All right. And so I want you to remember that digital products are crucial for you. When you are self-publishing your books, when you are traditionally publishing your books, you should have digital products that people can purchase because they want to go deeper into a content with you. All right. They want content outside of your book that they can leverage to help them put the things that you talked about in your book into practice. And digital products allows you the opportunity to provide that transformation without requiring you to do the actual work. Okay. And so I want you to, I've got a freebie down for you. There's a checklist called 10 ways to transform your expertise into income with income generating digital products. And we're also going to be going through this during session 4 at the 7-Figure Bestseller Summit. So I'm going to actually be teaching this in person, in more detail, in more depth at the 7-Figure Bestseller Summit. Like, there's only so much I can touch on within a 15 or 20 minute podcast episode. But at the 7-Figure Bestseller Summit, we're going to be diving deep into this and how you can leverage digital products as one of the ways in which you monetize your books and how you actually go about setting that up. So I would love to see you in the room on Saturday, July 12th. You can go to www.7figurebestseller.com to secure your spot, and I will see you in the room.